Right then.
Right then. Evening all.
Evening. Lovely to see all of you in the chat early, particularly Sean. Sean did make us laugh today. It was about 3 hours before the live when he sent a message of the chat where he was already there 3 hours early.
10 to 10 he was there this morning.
So thank you for Sean, for that, Sean. So that's brilliant. So let's see. There's so many people here already, which is always great to see. Lots of our patrons and YouTube members too. So thank you guys, as always, for all your support with our channel. It really is appreciated. We got Kevin here. Obviously, just mentioned Sean. Afon Back Designs is here. And always nice to see Jack's here. So that's lovely. So hi, Jack. And lots and lots of you. So if you've got a question, quite rightly, as Sean's put here, if you've got a question, just please start it with question, just so we can pick it out from the comments, because when more people join, it just gets faster and faster. It's hard for me to spot it. So
sorry for her to keep up. I don't seem to struggle with keeping up with it at all, to be honest. Sat over here, minding my own business.
I know. Look, he just brought it from the fridge.
Yes, please.
I'm trying. I don't know if anyone's... Paul came home from Tesco's today with these. They're Fanta watermelon flavour. Don't know if you ever tried them, low sugar, and they're lovely.
And this is Thatcher's apple flavour.
Yeah.
This is all Ken Goes Cruising's fault, because I watched his live last night, and when he said he was only about 11 miles from the Thatcher's farm.
Yeah. I thought, fancy one of them. So let's have a look then. Where's the first question? So, gosh, so many people here. Tina's got a question for us. After our Husky adventure, we'll be going on Alaskan cruise. We definitely have got that on our to-do list. That was such a fun weekend. For those of you who don't follow us on social media, we were invited by Princess Cruises to a place called Croft Farm near Tewkesbury in Gloucestershire, which we never get invited to. Well, normally things to do with promotions of cruise lines, etc., either in Southampton or London. So for it to happen in our home county of Gloucestershire, we were like, oh, wow, that's brilliant. And we know Croft Farm well because we've been to festivals there. And basically they were showcasing their new Alaskan adventures. If you're looking for some Alaskan adventure, they've got so much on offer this year, haven't they? They've got 7 ships out there, and
they've been sailing to Alaska, and I didn't know this, but every day's a school day.
Yeah,
for 55 years.
Yeah, and 2024, they've got 7 ships out there, and they do a combination which is very interesting of land tours and cruises, which the more that we cruise, the more we want to do that sort of thing, don't we? A bit of land, bit of cruising. But anyway, back to the weekend, we did a variation on dog sledding, which was just, I nearly didn't do it because I was a bit scared, because I'm not good with speed. And but I'm so glad I did it because it was exhilarating. And these lovely dogs, there was hounds and there was huskies, and they're all looked after by a very amazing lady who actually has represented Team GB, hasn't she? Vicky Pullen. She
started off snowboarding.
Yeah.
And she got onto Team GB at snowboarding, but like she said, unfortunately, she thought, well, that's it now, I'm on Team GB, everything's going to be paid for and roses, but that wasn't the case, and you had to self-fund, and it was a real struggle. But while she was at a snowboarding tournament, she did some husky dog. I don't think she did racing, I think she just did some
well, after that, she spent time in Alaska.
So then that gave her the bug, and she now races again with Team GB.
Yeah.
But she's gone from snowboarding to husky racing.
Yeah.
And she does 3 or 4 different classes, and she is the only British person that's currently holds a world ranking. So
yeah, and she was a great character, which was so interesting to talk to. But it was such a fun time, and catching up with our other cruise vlogging friends is always nice, because we don't see them very often.
No.
So we had a mad weekend in Cardiff, if you've seen, with the cruise boys, cruise monkeys, Lizzie Lou and Tom and Dom, and then we went to that. So we've been sleeping quite a lot since then.
Yes.
Oh, but yeah, Alaska, it just looks amazing. So and we've had so many people message us that have done cruises to Alaska, say, look, you just got to do it, and so we're definitely going to do it at some point. So that'd be great. So Tony's here from Los Angeles, and I see here Tony, and Dav Cat Travel is there from a pretty sunny South Wales. Yeah, the sun's just come out here. It's weird weather, isn't it? One minute it's sunny, and the next minute it's pouring with rain. It's just very. I guess we're coming into April showers. as they're known for, aren't they?
Is there a song about that?
No, I'm not going to sing it. But I think there is.
When Carole said she didn't want to do the sledding, the dog sledding, I did take her to one side and I had a little, sort of build up her confidence chat with her, which went something like,
yes. So anyway, and we gutted some trout, and I was really good at that, wasn't I?
Carole was the fish gutting master.
Yes.
I have to say, she was nearly as good at it as Vicky, who showed us how to do it.
Yes. So that was a fun weekend. Yeah. So anyway, let's get back to some questions here. So Hawks Travels is here. So hi guys, nice to see you.
Hello.
Let's have a look. So and IP Vincent 3 is just from outside Cardiff. Cardiff's a great town, but on a Saturday night, and of course it was the local derby with the football, which we didn't clock when we booked. And it was a bit mad, wasn't it? If you had a Swansea postcode, you weren't allowed into a lot of the pubs. So that was a little bit difficult because even though Tom and Dom and Gavin and Luke live right in Pembrokeshire or the other right at the end of Wales, it was a bit difficult. So and we stayed in the Travelodge, which we knew was going to be risky on St Mary's Street, but actually it was a bit noisy, but for what we wanted it was perfect, wasn't it? Because it was so ideal.
It was a double-edged sword because it was location, they say location, which was perfect, but unfortunately
comes with some noise.
If we were happy to stay up till 4 a.m. partying, it'd been fine. But in all fairness, we had a couple of lates by our standards because it was like gone 1 o'clock, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But the music was still banging. We were next door to the walkabout.
Yeah.
But it was more so the following morning. I don't know what time it was, 5 or 6 in the morning, and the bin men came round.
Yeah.
And our room faced onto an alleyway where it looked like somebody that was made of blue material had been murdered, and there was just blue stuff splattered everywhere. But then they come to empty the bins, and all that was in the bins was bottles. About 9,000 bottles.
It did sound
being
like
emptied
that.
into a dust cart. Oh, yeah. That's an old saying, isn't it? A dust cart.
Ooh. But we also had some time down the bay. If you ever go to Cardiff, make sure you get down Cardiff Bay because it's lovely around there, isn't it? It's really
we love the place.
Fabulous. See,
fabulous. See, we had a great time.
We did. So Morris is asking any news on merchandise. No, not yet. However, we are having discussions. So, but yes, Emma's Captain Hudson's really important. Do you know, Emma's such a lovely lady, and we're really good friends, and we're so very proud of her. The way how she does so much for charity, doesn't she?
Totally.
She's raised so much money for Mercy Ships with these Hudson toys. If you don't know what I'm talking about, do check it out because it's she's doing such a great job.
But merchandise wise, I don't see us making a plushy dog or cat anytime soon. So don't hold your hopes up with that. But t-shirts and mugs maybe, and hats. Maybe lanyards and hats. Yeah. And we're going to do masks so you can look like us as well.
You do get those paper things, don't you?
I was joking. As I was saying it, I thought, oh my God, that'd be quite creepy, wouldn't it? I mean, I don't like looking at myself in the mirror, so I definitely want to see a mask of myself.
So Dave's here. So hi, kind of Mr. Love. He's been watching our Azamara vlogs. So where you said that, you don't even remember saying that though, do you? And Carole's here. It's always lovely to see Carole. So yes, happy Easter. Whatever you're doing this Easter weekend, have a good one.
Have a good one, yeah. Carole's, we're drawing to a close on our 750 episodes of the Azamara cruise. But it's been lovely because while Carole's putting it together, and I have to do a few voiceovers, I'm watching it, and because I'm like a goldfish, I'm laughing away because it's like I wasn't even there because I've got no clue. But I must admit, I was sat on the sofa, Carole was playing a bit of audio, and as she played it, something popped into my head, and as I said it in my living room today, I also said it on the video. So, you know, they say great minds think alike. Well, those two great minds were both mine. So maybe that's not true.
Dear. So let's have a look. So Dawn's here. So hi, Dawn. Question, you're off on Azora in 2 weeks. Any tips? Well, we haven't cruised with Azora, but like with any cruise that you go on, just make sure you have a plan, innit? We always say that, have a plan.
Look at that planner. I don't know what the situation is with apps and stuff on Azora. I know with Iona, we had some app issues, which did put us in a bit of a situation and a bit of a pickle with getting to see shows and booking restaurants and stuff. So if that is the case, make sure you're all over that and make sure you plan everything you want to do.
Yeah, the My Holiday app with P&O worked a lot of the time, to be fair, but they do have reps around the ship to help you. So if you've got any problem, because there's some things that you can only book via that.
Yeah.
So I definitely get on. I think the Azura, I'm sure that Mark and Marie have just gone out. It's out in around the Malta area, isn't it? I think, is it going to the Adriatic? So let us know what itinerary you're doing. So, but yeah, have fun. So evening from Aberdeen. So hi there, Shona. So nice to see you. Hope it's not too cold and wet and windy, but it is up there.
Oh, I bet the sun's shining. I bet it's like the Caribbean up there, mate, in Aberdeen.
Maybe.
Do you want my bit of trivia about Aberdeen?
What's that?
I think that was the first football team that Sir Alex Ferguson ever managed.
Why are you whispering?
Because I didn't know I was.
So do you want to say it again if people didn't hear you?
I think it was the first football team that Sir Alex Ferguson ever managed, Aberdeen.
Okay. Well, I don't know. So Tony's here early for once, so nice to see you, and Grace is here too. So I put Dan the Cruiser up. Kaz, Dan the Cruiser. Good evening, everyone. Dan, as a lot of you know, is our travel agent who we now just started working with as an affiliate, which is lovely because we booked. God, I've lost count of cruises that we've booked with Dan.
We've booked 9,000 cruises with Dan. Dan doesn't have to book anybody else on a cruise.
Yes, he does.
He just lives in the lap of luxury of all the cruises that Carole books with.
No. But we've had a chat with him, and we've been chatting on our last couple of our lives, and a few people have asked us to, would it be possible to ask Dan to come on and be our guest? So I rang Dan this morning and said, look, you up for it? And he said, yeah, of course I am.
We negotiated his fee. He was very reasonable, to be honest, £5,000, which I thought was all right.
So next Thursday, we're having Dan on as a guest. So if you've got any questions, travel agent related questions that obviously we can't answer, then have a think about them and bring them next week. So as long as I can work out how to do the two faces. Yeah. I'm sure I will.
So we might just have Dan on the phone and we'll just hold him like this.
No, I'm sure I'll suss it out. So here we go. So Large Negrone is here. So evening. Hello from sunny Jersey. We are sailing with Cunard. I want to know if you pay additional tips in dollars or GB. Dollars.
Let me tell you this. Yes, it's dollars on the ship, but if you're working on additional, so they will be happy if you pay them in any denomination whatsoever, apart from maybe the Croatian kuna, which actually doesn't exist anymore. It's been phased out. As long as it's, seriously though, pounds, euros, dollars, they will have the means and know-how to change any currency you might give them into their currency of choice. So whatever, don't feel that if you don't need dollars for that cruise, don't get dollars just for tipping, because you don't need to.
Cunard on the ship is in dollars, isn't it?
Yeah.
But if you're wherever you're cruising, so I don't know where you're cruising to. So if you're cruising around Europe, euros is good. And then the crew can get off and spend the euros where they are.
Yeah.
But any form of cash will be very much appreciated.
So whatever the place you're going to, whatever money that is, tip them in that. And then it saves you going there with dollars and euros and pounds and shekels and...
Yes, whatever you've got. Sweet Nature's are here as well, so that's lovely. I'm just going to scroll down just here, see what we've got down. Emma Cruz is here. I thought I spotted Emma. We've just been said, I don't know if you caught it, Emma, just about the fabulous work that you're doing with your Hudson plushes and with Mercy Ships. So if you want to know more about that, just check out Emma Cruz's, because she's got version 2 coming out very, very soon.
So you're not going to say anything at all about that, what she's written on there?
Be our guest.
Put that service to the test.
That's
come on, Annie, you can do it. You can do it. Come on. Beauty
and the Beast.
Yes. Carole never gets things like that right.
We always start talking about random stuff on our lives. So we've got green sheet stamps, Angel Delight last week.
Because you've scrolled down.
Yes.
We don't know whether Emma is just basically just gone mental or that's a reference to something else. I don't know.
Anyway, so let's go back to the questions. Always just about to explore with Eric. Hi there. Lovely to see you.
Yeah, evening, Eric.
So Mindy's asking, how many days till your next cruise? Well, our next cruise is on Marella Voyager, and it's the beginning of June, so it's quite a way. Well, it's not really. I suppose we're already in.
Well, from our for our standards, for Carole's standards, that's like a lifetime away.
But first,
normally it's like we don't count it in days. We usually count it in hours, don't we?
But first, before that, we've got a week in Las Vegas celebrating my sister's 60th birthday. But that is our next cruise, and we're really excited about that because we haven't been on Marella since pre-pandemic, and we love Marella.
Apart from electric
sunsets, yes,
which we found out today the dates. And
they're not out officially. We've heard via a very odd group but I can't see it on Marella.
A very odd group. Yeah, it was Lizzie Lou who put it on.
No. So if it is the case, we're already booked on Queen Anne, which will be a shame because that would have been fun to do. So let's have a look here. So Michael's asking, when we were on Cunard, did you take part in any of the deck games or fencing on board? No, we haven't, have we?
I didn't do the fencing, but I did put a couple of gates up.
Dear.
Do you know, I have heard tell of this fencing that goes on.
Yes.
And you can probably tell I still got both my eyes, so I haven't had a go in it. But I've never seen. I've heard about it, but I've never physically seen it. And we've done quite a few Cunard now, but I've never physically seen it. But no, we haven't, to be fair.
No, it's not something we would. No, it wouldn't be something we would have a go at, really, would it?
No, I must remember to pack my rapier next time.
Is that what it's called?
Oh, one of them is, I think.
I don't know. Did you manage to get Havana 1957? Stuart, if you're on about on celebrity Carnival celebration, yes, we did. Because that's the Havana Club, isn't it? And it's fabulous. So if you're cruising on a Carnival celebration, make sure you check that out because the vibe in there was just absolutely fabulous. And if you love dancing, the people that were getting up to dancing are proper salsa dance. Yes. They're all Latino. It was amazing. And really, really good.
And when we say if you love dancing, it doesn't necessarily mean you like dancing yourself, but if you just like watching as well, it's virtually impossible to sit still in your chair because of the vibe that's going on.
It's amazing.
All the time. There's so much going on. It's like my mum used to say to me, have you got ants in your pants?
Yeah,
that's what I'd be like. I could do one of the best salsas ever as long as I'm sat in a chair. And if it spins around as well, it's even better.
So Tracy's just saying happy Easter Friday morning from New Zealand. So thank you for joining us from there. And Grace has just opened an apple tango. See, I'm watermelon, look.
Well, me and Grace are
similar.
We're both on the apples.
So let's have a look then. So, look at that swan. So Paul is here and asking, hello from Royal Wolverhampton. Is Wolverhampton called Royal? I didn't know that.
Not that I was aware of. Not the Wolverhampton in the Wolverhampton. Not that one, but maybe it is.
Looking at a small ship, we've been loyal to celebrity turn up. I think likes a showing. Like the look of Viking. Any thoughts? No, Viking, if I don't know if Lou's in Lou Mallow, who's done so many Viking, he will be able to advise you. We haven't done Viking yet, and also Bob, Innocents Abroad, they've done a lot of Viking. So if you're in the comments, then please do let us know. They look, and we've heard very good things about Viking. I think they I think that the ships look very clean and sort of
clinical.
Well, yeah, sort of IKEA-like.
If you were going to have an appendicitis,
but luxurious.
If you're going to have an appendicitis, I definitely think a Viking ship would be the one to have on because they could literally operate anywhere on the ship. That's how clean it is.
Well, we don't know that, do we?
That's what we've been told. I don't know. I'm just being stupid.
Yes, you are. So, yeah, Sean quite rightly say, Lou, are you here for a Viking question? Yes. So Kevin's given a big thumb up for Thatcher's.
Yes, Thatcher's.
So we're not sure you get that in Canada.
Well, I will be going there though.
Yeah. Jenny's asking, has feeling seasick at Azamara put you off small ships? Jenny, yes and no. It's made us really think more about the itineraries that we would choose on them, because with Azamara, regardless of our issue we had, we thoroughly enjoyed the Azamara experience around the ship and the small ship familiarity and how everyone, because you see everyone all the time, and it was like a big family, and we loved that part of it. So yes, we would do a small ship again, but I would do it in maybe a an itinerary that wasn't going around Australia, I would do it around the Med or in the Caribbean. Would you say the same?
Totally. So what Carole was trying to get to is we would do a small ship, and we love the small ship experience, but it's down to the itinerary, and it's down to the least amount of sea days as humanly possible.
Yes, exactly that.
And I've just saw Morris. If he isn't the first one, I apologise.
No, we're going to do this first.
Oh, hang on.
Hang on. Scotters is in the chippy, waiting for large fish chips, mushy peas and curry, and a battered barm.
That's a bread roll to you, isn't it?
Battered barm. Is it a bread roll?
Yeah, it's like a barm cake. It's bread roll, yeah.
I'll wait for this weekend watching your Aussie feast.
Because he's from up north, isn't he?
Yeah, is it?
Yeah. So when we're up there in May,
yes,
Scotters, you better tell us which is the best chippy to go to with a battered barm.
Yes, we're away in our motorhome. We're heading to the Lake District. We're really excited about it, aren't we? Because we've never been there.
I haven't started the camper for about 4 months.
Yeah.
And we're supposed to be going away in it next weekend, so I might have to get in there and see if anything works, or if it goes, or if the engines fall out. Or
yeah, it will be a good thing to do.
I expect Carole will help me.
I will. Morris is saying, love the shirt. Yes, Paul's got a new shirt. He bought that on Holland America and New Amsterdam. We had some future cruise credit, onboard credit.
So just remember, I'm the one that's drinking.
Yes, I'm not. I'm Fanta. Yeah. And we've seen this in there, and Paul's like, oh, I don't know. I said, mate, it'd be perfect, isn't it, with all the little cocktail? I love it. Paul's not so sure. So give us a thumbs up, or let us know what you think of Paul's new shirt. What you got to say about it? It's really lovely quality.
It is.
It's a Jack. Oh.
It's Jack Banana or something.
No.
I'm sure it's called Jack Banana.
No, it's Tommy Bahamas.
Oh, see how close is like Jack Banana.
Which is
I
quite
got
a well-known label, but we don't do a lot of designer stuff, so I don't know.
When I looked at this shirt, Carole said, oh, it's a Tommy Bahama.
Tippy Tommy.
And she could have said to me any name at all. But what I love about Carole is her enthusiasm. She does it a lot with products in the bathroom. Oh my God, it's so-and-so cream. I've never heard of it. And she gets all enthusiastic. Have you heard of that, have you? She always says yes, but I always believe that she's making it up. And it was the same with this Tommy Banana or whatever his name is. And then when we were in Miami, we walked past a Tommy Banana shop.
We did.
And I just thought it was some like a home brand, like, the middle aisle at Lidl or something, where you can buy a canoe and then you get this Tommy Banana shirt. But it's actually quite big time.
Lots of thumbs up. It looks like Ken go cruise here. Hi, Ken. So with that shirt makes you look younger.
Do you know, Ken, I'm going to take that in the spirit of which it was intended, even though you and Lindsay are looking at each other now and are right-o laugh.
Exactly that.
Paul only looks 68 in that shirt.
Exactly. Look, T's all these thumbs up. Look.
Well, Tina was so disgusted with my shirt, she couldn't even say for the shirt. She only put for the shy.
Right. Yeah. Look. Lots of love in the shirt. So let's go back up to the questions. Where were we?
Well, we haven't got any more questions.
For those that you don't know, Giants Nation's asking about your Premier League club. Do you support?
I've finished with football now.
Yes, it's very depressing at the moment. I'm
a Tottenham Hotspur fan, also known as Spurs, and I woke up this morning, and I'm always grumpy in the morning, but I woke up and the first thing I did was tell Carole a joke. And the joke is, why have all Tottenham players been banned from keeping dogs? And the answer is because they can't hold on to a lead.
Yes.
And even Carole laughed at that one.
I did.
If anybody else laughed, great, but it just makes me sad to say it.
Yeah, they're not. It's lots of trouble that...
We got no manager.
Yeah.
We got no director of football.
Yeah. It's all a bit of a mess.
We've got no idea. All we've got is people running the club who are money, more money for me.
Yeah, that's true. Julie's here, so nice to see you. And we've got Larger Grown saying, I remember when Thatcher was brewed in a barn in Winscombe near Bristol Airport and sold in plastic containers back in the early 80s.
Well, I'm just going to hand that over to Ken Goes Cruising because he's the Thatcher. I mean, I would I'm going to go on a limb now. I reckon I've drank more Thatchers than Ken, but he probably knows more about that.
Yeah, because they live just sort of down the road from there, don't they? So Jackie's asked, we booked cruise the fjords in September. Have you done the fjords and what did you think? We've done the fjords 6 times now, and I would go back for the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th because it's just beautiful. In September, I would just make sure you take lots of different layers because the weather can be very changeable. We had beautiful sunshine on the Queen Mary too, and we went there last September, didn't we, with my sister?
We went 3 times last year, and every time we went, 3 times.
Twice.
3 times. We definitely went with.
We went Sky Princess, Queen Mary too.
What did we go with Bob and Ollie with?
Sky Princess.
And didn't we go another time?
Queen Mary 2 with my sister.
And we went twice last year. And the weather was fabulous. I told you it was twice, but I don't know why you don't listen to me. Weather was fabulous both times. Unprecedented hot weather. But
yes,
we've been other times where it's rained that much, we didn't even get off the bus when we went on an excursion.
Yeah. So just be prepared.
Yeah.
But just it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. We love Norway and the fjords. And Jackie said on our recommendation of the larger balcony for no extra price, we've booked it. Oh, brilliant. Yeah, I love finding that little quirky balcony. It's either on an angle or got a little bit of space by just checking the deck plans. It's not hard. It's very easy to find. So if you want that bit of extra space, you study them all the time, don't you, Paul?
I do. But if anybody out there wants to know about, which balcony to pick, if you send me £5, I'll get Carole to look at it.
And Davcat saying, always fancy Alaska. I used to get the idea of flying again. Yeah, that's the only thing is I'm not a huge lover of flying. It's a means to an end for me. What do you do then?
It makes your arms ache, doesn't it?
Oh, God.
Oh, he's on. I haven't had cider for about 4 months.
No, you haven't actually. You've been on beer all the time you've been away. Oh dear, this is going to be a long hour, isn't it?
I only had 7.
Emma said she entered the chat just as she was making a chicken impression. Yeah, that was you never know what you're going to get on a Thursday Night Live with Paul and Carole.
I would imagine that it's gone rapidly downhill since then.
So let's see. So Claire's here. So let's see, Claire. Got so many people here. So thank you so much for taking the time to join us on a Thursday evening. And Andy's kind of saying, where did you get your shirt from? It was in the shop on Holland and America on the New Amsterdam.
And all it cost was $20.
No, it was. I can't remember.
$70.
Yeah, it was around about $70.
70 or 80. It's a fortune.
But with onboard credit, we again because we had a drinks package. It's hard to know what to spend it on, isn't it?
Yes.
So
I've got 700 bottles of aftershave in the wardrobe now.
Yeah, we've got so much perfume.
Carole's now got more Marc Jacobs Daisy than Marc Jacobs has got. But this onboard credit's great.
And Emma says she's a lady. Ooh la la, you are a lovely one at that too. So, greetings from Andy and Rachel from Pilning. Yes, says Gloucester.
Pilning. I don't know where Pilning is. Can you just tell us what's close to Pilning? Because I don't know where that is. Is that Thornbury way?
I don't know where they'd get the map.
Well, I wasn't asking you. I was asking them. They'll know where it is because they live there.
Kevin's on about masks.
Oh, nobody wants that.
So let's have a look. See, let's see.
I could do with a mask with somebody else's face on, really. Nobody.
Well, I'm not saying anything. So Mindy was asked about the cruise, watching from our home port in Port Alberni, British Columbia, Canada. It would come from Swindon. Oh, brilliant. Oh, well, thank you so much for watching, Neil and Sarah. So let's have a... So Janet's already going to Alaska, look, in May. Looking forward to it. Yes. And you're in sunny Spain. Tina's asking, does Dan the Cruise have a YouTube channel? He does. He's just started up putting a few little bits and bobs on there. So, but you'll be able to ask him all those questions next week when he joins us for...
So we're not going to answer that. Oh, you did, didn't you?
Trees is here from Holland, near Amsterdam. And yes, Dan says he's answered it himself. Not that great, but a few cabin videos. Just starting off, though, you just pop. So you've got to start somewhere, so that's really good. Carol's asking, I'm on Queen Victoria just over 2 weeks. Would you recommend eating a specialty restaurant while on board? And which one? No.
We ate at whatever.
The Veranda.
The Veranda, which is a steak restaurant.
But that was on Queen Mary 2.
That was on Queen Mary 2. And of all the steak restaurants we've done, it was by far the worst.
In our experience.
Yeah.
However, and just looking at that, Jason said he had a great experience. So it really depends.
Yeah.
I think that's the only specialty restaurant that we're aware of. It's not on,
I can't think of
Cunard.
No.
But the food that we found on Cunard, their buffets are very good.
The food's fabulous.
And the food that we've had in Britannia restaurant has been very good too.
And has Victoria got the Corinthia Lounge?
Oh, Corinthia. If you love cakes.
Oh my God. If you love cakes, you'll be 400 stone when you come off there, because in the Corinthia Lounge, they do like a little tiny breakfast buffet in there.
Yeah.
Which basically about 50% of it is cakes. And then they do afternoon cakes.
Yeah.
So it's just cakes all the way. And they are
some of the best cakes we've ever had.
The best cakes at sea. I said it. I don't care. I just threw it out there.
You know, I think you might be right.
Let me just expand on my Veranda experience. Our experience at Veranda, we went for Valentine's Day, and it was absolutely spectacular. Everything about it was wonderful. Service, ambience, picking your own steak knife made you feel like a roughy, toughy man. Oh, give me that big steak knife. But we ordered, we had a fillet steak, and when Carole cut into it, it was like something out of a horror film, and the blood squirted, without exaggeration, easily 12 inches across the table. So we should have sent it back. We didn't, but we shouldn't have had to have sent it back. So it did sort of sour our experience.
Parts of the meal were very good, were superb.
And everything else about it was wonderful.
But it could have, it was a little rare for us. But like you say, we should have...
It's a little rare. When you cut into it, it mooed and kicked all the peas off the plate.
No, it didn't. Any Insta360 tips, Pauline?
Yeah, just don't do it. It's too complicated. No, in all fairness, I'm still... I have just put a short out and a reel and stuff of our experience on the weekend, so check that out. But yeah, it's just fabulous. I mean, what I've done this time is what I haven't done in previous times, is I've gone through all my footage and I've taken everything off I need and got rid of what I don't. So it means I've still got about 3 memory cards to go through, going back God knows how many adventures. But yeah, it's absolutely brilliant, and I would encourage anybody to get one.
I think, the angles you can get and the drone effects, I think, for us and Paul, we can now just do a video and then we can take portrait and landscape photos from it for all our social media.
Take your pictures off there.
It's made our life a little bit easier from a vlogging point of view, hasn't it? So,
it's fabulous.
So Trees is just saying, question, is a cruise to the Caribbean a little bit like an all-inclusive holiday to the sun? Are you a lot on the beach? Only if you choose to. I mean, when we were in the Caribbean, there's more to some of the Caribbean islands than just going to the beach. But saying that, Caribbean is about the beach and snorkeling adventures for us. And we had some fabulous times, didn't we there? So, yes and no, isn't it really?
I think...
If you're after history and all that sort of thing, there are some islands that have got some. But if you're looking for a culture or educational cruise, I would definitely pick Europe.
Yes. But I think cruising to the Caribbean is one of the best ways to see it, because you get to see all different places and you get a good taste of it. And like Carole said, we did she didn't say that, but I'm going to say, we did a fantastic catamaran trip where we did some snorkeling and stuff like that. And you spend enough time in places to know, well, yes, I mean, I never want to go there again, or I could definitely come back here for a week or a fortnight or whatever. So I think it's if you've been to the Caribbean loads of times, then maybe a cruise there isn't for you. But if you haven't, it's the perfect way, and you can get some good deals going there. So you
can. Yeah. I was just saying, this was our first time the ABC Islands, where we did ANC, Aruba, and Curacao.
Curacao,
that's it.
We went to Curacao.
But Aruba, out of the two, I just, when you go somewhere, you think, oh, I like this. It's got such a lovely vibe, and the beaches look beautiful. So, yes, so that would be the next one that I'd like to go back to. But but they're very windy. That's one thing I didn't realise about the Caribbean, particularly obviously if you're on the eastern side, so you're nearer to the Atlantic, it can get very windy. So
But I'm used to, when I go on a cruise, I'm used to it always being very windy.
No. Trace is asking, which cruise line would you recommend to the Med? I'm coming from New Zealand, so I'll probably only do this once, so I want it to be amazing.
Oh, so no pressure then, Tracy, really?
Well, all cruise lines go to the Med, well, that I'm aware of. So it's not really about the Med, it's about what cruise line is going to suit you best. So you need to do the research to do, is entertainment really important to you? Is the dining experience, is it fun? So you need to, we can't answer that because...
No, but first thing is, what do you want to see in the Med? Because if you've got...
asking which cruise line.
Yeah, but it's not all cruise lines do...
All itineraries?
All itineraries.
No, true.
So what you want to do first is nail down what you want to see. Because you'll have cruise lines saying, "Oh, we go to Paris," when in actual fact they go to somewhere that's a 6-hour coach ride from Paris. So it's all stuff like that. So, no, but no, it's not the Met, but the same. So it's like, Città Vecchia, which is for Rome.
The way we approach our looking at what cruise we want to do is where do we want to go to start with, and what cruise lines then go there. So, and if like Paul said, itinerary first, and then we say, right, these cruise lines all go there. There's 6 cruise lines that go there. Which is the cruise line that's best for us, and which ship? Do you want an older ship? Do you want a newer ship? So there's lots of variations. Get yourself a good travel agent like we've got with Dan, because we've got we're planning quite an exciting trip to Asia next year, and I've got all these ideas going through my head, and this morning I sat down with Dan on the phone and went through all these ideas of what he could do. And then he's going to go away and come back with what he feels will work for the time frame that we've got and what we want to do. So that's another thing. Have all these ideas, but have a good travel agent that you can talk to. And we're quite happy to share Dan. But obviously, if you're in New Zealand, that might be a bit difficult.
Well, I don't know. I don't know whether that might not be the case anymore, because I've been reading stuff that... branching out, so I don't know. Well,
but there we are. But yes, like you say, you're coming from such a long way. You want it to be right, and we get that. So Mindy's saying, if when you go to Las Vegas, be sure to visit Lotus of Siam on Sahara Boulevard off the Strip. Fabulous Thai food. We love Thai food. It's our favourite.
Penang curry to die for. Oh, I tell you what, when we were in
I'm gonna write that down. What's that called? Lotus of
Siam. When we were in Fort Lauderdale, for our last couple of days before we flew home, we went for a wander and we found an absolutely spectacular Thai restaurant.
It was really good and really reasonable. And it was happy hour.
And it was happy hour, but it was happy hour from 5 until 8 or something like that. And it was 2 for 1 on beers and wines. And of course, when you see this 2 for 1 on whatever, it's like, yeah, but what beers is it, mate? And it's like, well, every beer on that menu is 2 for 1, and every wine on that menu is 2 for 1. And it was like, oh, I like this place.
Yeah.
And the food was great too.
Someone's asking about Chef's Table or go to MDR. Now, there's a lot of difference between Chef's Tables right at the end of having that special occasion. We've never done it, but friends that have done it say it's fab. Or go to the MDR. I would on Iona, if you're there's so many food options there. They've got lots of specialities where you pay by dish.
What we loved about Iona, they've got lots of variables. They've got out and out specialty restaurants where you pay this much cover charge and then you have what you want. We've never done Chef's Table, and mainly because of me, because usually Chef's Table is like a big wine pairing thing, and I don't drink wine, so that'd just be totally a wasted experience. So maybe Carole should go with somebody who likes wine and I can go whatever. But on Iona, our personal recommendation, I'm saying this without even speaking to Carole, is the Squid and Anchor. Squid and Anchor? Not Squid and Anchor. What's it called?
That's Marella.
Keen and Cow. Keen and Cow. Because what we love about the Keen and Cow is it's like a steak restaurant, but they do all sorts of other stuff, but you only pay for what you have.
Yeah.
So you can have a dish that's £5. You can have I think the dearest thing is about £20.
Yeah.
Which is a T-bone steak. And the food is fantastic. They do other specialty stuff where it's Mediterranean, and there's a cover charge, and there is There is an out and out steak restaurant because we went there for what's it called? Come on, tell me, Annie. You can tell me.
Sorry, I was concentrating on
I know, we'll concentrate on what I'm talking to you about. We went there.
The steak, that's the Keel and Cow is the steak.
No, where did we go for Valentine's?
Oh, Epicurean.
That'd be the steak place. Huh?
They do steak, but they do lots of different things.
But that's very good.
That's lovely.
But chef's tables, if you've never done a cruise before, I'd ease yourself into it a bit. To be honest, is like because that's going like Carole said, that's like right to the top. But there's so many places you can eat. Some have got a small cover charge, like I said. Keel and Cow, pay for what you have. The Keys, if you want some fast food or some Thai food or chicken or whatever, it's fabulous. Food
selection was really good.
I'd say Iona is probably one of my favourite places for
food.
For the different places of food. Really good.
Sunkick has asked a very valid question. Hi, Carole of the show. Well, thank you very much. Have you ever been asked to stop or restrict filming due to privacy? No, it is a difficult one because when we go around the ship, the reason why, if you watch our vlogs, a lot of the time we sit on our cabin and chat about things and then insert videos and pictures around it because we're very conscious of other people's privacy and not getting other people in the shots if it's not necessary. So, but there isn't any guidance, though we are aware of people that blatantly go out with big cameras and stuff being told to stop filming, and quite rightly. I don't want to be filmed eating. No, but
Carole squeezing my leg. Don't you mention anybody? But these individuals did say, "Don't you know who we are?"
Well, anyway, back to us and this. So I can understand because you have to be very careful, and that's why we at all times we are very aware of what we're filming and who's in there. So Chris was asking, have we had any cruise that booked been cancelled last minute? Yes. We had a cruise on Ventura that was booked with your dad that was cancelled a couple of weeks before, which was quite distressing because of a lack of an accessible cabin. But yeah, these things happen sadly, and it is frustrating. But I don't want to go on a rant about that. So
they oversold the cabins and then shafted us. Move on.
We don't know that, but
we do know that. They oversold the accessible cabins because they didn't cancel it until after the balance was due. And then once the balances was due and everybody paid their balance, they realised that they had, for argument's sake, 40 accessible cabins, but they'd sold 60 accessible cabins. So when more than 40 people had paid, they then had to make the decision who they were going to bump. And their feeble excuse was, this cabin is no longer available due to COVID restrictions in case they had to quarantine anybody. But my dad's cabin was an inside cabin. And I'm fairly confident that if you had COVID, they wouldn't quarantine you in an inside cabin.
Anyway.
So boo to you, P&O, I say.
On that occasion, but we've had some very good experiences. In fact,
we have.
As soon as we wrap up Azamara, we've got our review of Iona coming out. So Stuart's just saying, sorry, Havana was a restaurant in Miami. However, good knowing about Carnival. No, we didn't get there. We did get to Bubba Gump.
Yeah.
So Ashley's just been on Virtuosa, just done a week on MSC Virtuosa, lovely ship around Northern Europe. But due to technical problems at Le Havre, went back to Zeebrugge. Oh, okay. Yeah, these things happen. When you book an itinerary, I think whenever you're booking a cruise, always go with a bit of an open mind that, yes, this is the itinerary that you're expecting, but it doesn't always work out that way. And that's just the world of, working with mechanics and
it's the way of the world and the weather.
Exactly that.
Oh.
So Maz is asking, any tips for traveling in big groups while cruising? We're a party of 8 and Dread and I will go to find each other. We're on board in Azamara in May. It is difficult when you're in a big group. We're on Princess, and one thing, there's lots of things that we love about Princess, and one of them is their medallion. So you could always see where people were and keeping in touch was great. But my holiday app on P&O, does it have a chat function?
Somebody led us to believe, and we didn't, it's not like we're travel bloggers or anything, but they said, we'll message you on the app, and it's like, you'll do what, sorry? And we didn't even know.
I know we could do that on Hollands America because we were cruising the cruise and Canucks, and that's the way we communicated, and it worked well. So if anyone's in the chat that can answer that, because there's something in my head thinking that you couldn't, but I don't want to say yes or no because I'm not 100% sure. So,
but what we would tend to do as well, if we didn't have the technology to contact each other, is always have like a place and say, right, if we can't find each other, let's meet here at
a go-to meeting place.
Let's meet here at 7 o'clock in the evening. The so-and-so bar, 7 o'clock in the evening, or the so-and-so bar, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, or whatever. And if you have that as your go-to place, the biggest logistical problem you'll have with 8 people is try and get you all sat together.
Yeah.
And that's what we found, is trying to get seats together. In the theatre and places like that wasn't too bad, but it's very rare you'll find a table for 8 in a bar. So there's usually some dragging round of chairs and tables. So logistically, that was one of the things.
And thanks, guys. Lizzie Lou said P&O don't have chat, and Ken confirms that.
So forget about that chat. So find a place.
But that is a lot of cruise lines now, isn't it? Because on Holland that worked well. So that was
Scottish.
No chat on P&O. Lucky you booked somewhere to eat. Yeah. So make sure you plan ahead. And Claire's just saying there is chat on the MSC app now, but not on P&O. So that's brilliant. So thank you for that. I appreciate all your input. So let's go back to where I was.
I saw a Motorhome question fly.
Yeah, but I think we're further up than that, Paulie. So there we so that's Kevin saying yes, they do have a bit of Thatchers up there, Paulie. So Grace is asking, did you get much rough water when traveling to the fjords? We've had mixed. We've had one cruise that we had particularly rough waters when we were going to Aalesund and Stavanger. So getting actually from the UK to Norway is the tricky bit. And if you go further north, out of the fjords and up, then you will encounter rough waters. So you need to be prepared for that.
But it's not a given, because like I said, the 2 we did last year, because I said it was 2, didn't I? We had no rough waters at all. It was fabulous.
And someone said, do you have a buttered Mars bar and a buttered balm? Oh my God. That would be, how sickly would that be?
I'm liking the sound of it. But do you have any sort of sauce on that?
No, I don't think so, mate.
Salt and vinegar.
Yeah. So Chris is asking, you mentioned your motorhome. Have you been to Scotland before? We loved it. We haven't got that far north. This is the furthest north that we're going to be going to the Lake District. So, but we do plan to do that. And
it is 28 years old. So what we have to do is we go about 10 miles and then we have to pull into a lay-by for an hour. Just go. We're like the old tow truck out of Cars, old tow meter.
No, we're, like I say, we're planning to do a lot more in our motorhome, because I've really missed that. And we've had a fantastic time cruising, but we do want to mix it up a little bit. So Emma's already had an Easter egg. Have you? No.
Oh, there's.
Ah, no, we haven't had any.
No, yeah.
Enjoy.
Shut your face, Emma.
Nat's in the house.
Natalie Green's my lovely niece.
Yes.
And I don't know the technical term. Carole put me right on this, but she had something done to her carpet tunnel today.
I don't know if Nat wants you to tell everyone about what's going on.
Oh, it's only is it
carpal tunnel?
Carpal tunnel, yes.
It's a wrist. Part of the wrist.
Make that what you will, I
know. Sorry about him, Nat. You know what he's like. But lovely to see you, and glad it all went well.
Yes.
So
but hopefully you'll send the question earlier about where we can get some great fish and chips when we go up
north. Up north. So morning from Vancouver, you two are the same as us when it comes to products. Yes. I love I just love a great moisturizer. So let's have a look. Yes, everyone's saying give us a thumbs up if you're enjoying our chat. Please do, because it always helps. And Travel Livy's she's got Easter eggs hidden in her garage.
Well, your children aren't as inventive as my boy, that's for sure, because he would have sniffed them out about 3 months ago.
So Grace is asking, we're in the ocean view cabin on the Scarborough, right at the front of the ship. Will there be movement in the fjords? Again, like we said, you don't know. But if you book a ship at the front or the back of the ship, then yes, you will get more movement than if you're in the middle. So, but it's a gamble. Sometimes you can, sometimes you don't, isn't it?
No, that's right. It's how long's a piece of string? You just don't know. You could have, if the weather's fabulous, that's the irony. The weather could be fabulous. Now on your next cruise, you can say, well, that was no issues at all having that cabin at the front. And then you book it again and it could be awful.
Now, Marie's asking, we'd like to take a family of 4 on our first cruise, wondering which cruise line would suit us best. Now, Lizzie Lou is a good one to ask about that, about taking kids, because she's got 2 teenagers. And she's in the chat. Obviously, we don't travel. We didn't take Lucas when he was younger cruising, and now that he's cruised with us, he's 28. I would look towards like Royal Caribbean. They look like they're a great one for kids. And MSC look good because they got the water parks. But Lizzie Lou's the one to ask. Oh, Joyce is saying that you look quite handsome in your new shirt.
Thank you, Joyce. Thank you, Joyce. That's very kind of you to say. There was a cider question there you missed, so get back up to that now.
Oh, sorry. Stuart's asking. Rich's cider.
No, I haven't.
Never heard of it, have you?
No, tell me more. Tell me more, Stuart. Where's that come from?
Vince is asking, we love watching you too. Thank you very much. Have you been on Britannia yet? No, but it is on our, we do want to do Britannia. We want to do more P&O because we had a great time on Iona.
Every time I hear about Britannia and I tell this story and Carole looks at me and says, no, that wasn't Britannia. And she'll probably do the same again. But we were on a cruise. We hadn't really done any P&O. And
the first P&O we did.
The P&O ship sailed away. And it was just absolutely banging on the deck. It was all going on, dancing and music playing. And our ship sailed away and it was like a funeral. And I said, we need to be on that ship.
Yeah.
Was that Britannia?
That was Arcadia. That was Stavanger. That was when they had all the flags. Well, P&O used to have all the flags and the sail away parties. It doesn't appear that they do that now or that we've experienced. Ken's asking, will we be gambling in Vegas? And if so, tables or slots? I'll be doing some slots, and probably you will be doing some slots. We don't do tables, do we? We're not being brave enough to do tables.
We've only ever played blackjack once, and that was when we were in Mexico.
I was on our honeymoon in Dominican Republic at an all-inclusive resort.
I thought it was when we were at Moon Palace a year after our honeymoon. I don't remember there being a casino at Dominican Republic.
Yeah, there was, because that's where we watched the World Cup as well.
That's why I don't gamble. Oh, of course it was, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that stupid David Seaman let that shot in from 400 miles away from Ronaldinho. Not that I remember that sort of stuff and hold a grudge. David Seaman.
So, yes, we will be doing a little bit, but not loads. We're not huge gamblers. The most that we tend to blow on a cruise ship is about 40 quid, isn't it? So
an hour.
But no, it's not. So, yeah, so Travel Lizzie Lou's just said that about, I'd say Royal Caribbean will be my first choice, MSC. So thanks for that, Lizzie Lou. And I just seen someone else come in with, where's it gone? Coaster Coasters. Yes, of course. Josh, I didn't see you were here. He travels with his kids. So MSC, yeah, World Europa looks good. And the Cruise Boys are just about to go on that too. So, and he said Royal Caribbean. Probably Royal Caribbean, they're quite pricey, aren't they?
They are quite
pricey. Right, so let's go back up because we're running out of time, aren't we? Let's see what where were we? Love Bubblegum. Yeah, we did it. We enjoyed it, didn't we? To the Best Bloody Mary. Oh my God, it was amazing.
Well, it just goes to show with stuff is that how it's always, a mixed bag. We went in the first time we went into Bubblegum. I don't know what night it was, but it wasn't a weekend night, and it was fairly quiet. And we went in. There was a lovely girl behind the bar. She made Carole one of the best Bloody Marys she'd ever had, and it was a lovely experience. We went back about 2 nights later, and it was just like an absolute bun fight. One of the blokes behind the bar walked out because it was so busy and he couldn't get any help, so that made it even more busy. The Bloody Mary was very average, and if that had been our first visit, we probably wouldn't have gone back. But based on our first visit, it was very good, wasn't it? But it was just the difference that like 2 days could make.
So Rachel's just asking, pilgrims between 7 crossings by 7 Beach.
Oh.
So
I love the shirt, thank you.
Coast to Coast just asking, any tips I must do on Sky Princess? For Sky Princess, a beautiful ship. I would say if you like a bit of fun, make sure you get to Princess Live because we had some great times.
Now, was that the one with the good Princess Live? It's the Regal that's got the small one, isn't it?
Yeah, this has got the good Princess Live. This has got the new Princess Live, which is more like a lounge area with a little stage.
And that is really, really good fun, but it's so popular
Get there early.
You need to get there earlier, because when we went last time, there was people sitting on the floor in the corridor because there was no seats in there.
They have some great quizzes in there. They have some sort of game show stuff, which are a little bit cheesy at times, but we thoroughly enjoyed them, didn't we?
Yeah, it was fabulous.
And make sure the entertainment that we had on Princess was fabulous. Great pizza at Alfredo's.
Oh, yes, Alfredo's.
Which is all included.
And that's one of the things as well. So when you get on, everybody rushes to try and get to usually the buffet and stuff like that. Unless you're Bob Matter, then he rushes straight to the pool deck because he has to have a burger on the pool deck when he gets on a cruise. I don't know if anybody knew that or not, but Alfredo's is a great place to go as well, because not many, if you've got new cruisers, they don't realize it's free, and two, they don't even know it's there at that stage. So it's always a good place to head to get a bit of scram when you first get on.
Yeah, have a great time. Sky Princess is a lovely ship. They got a nice little aft pool as well for sailaways and stuff at the back, isn't it? That was a really nice. So make sure you check that out. But have a great time. So
Tina Webber's agreeing with me with the keel and cow.
Yeah, and Ken, that's interesting. Ken just said that Chef's Temple is exactly the same food as the MGR, just hosted in the buffet in a specific area.
Oh, I didn't know.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And Keel and Cow, yes. So that's it is lovely.
What I love about the Keel and Cow, and I'm going back to it again, but you can go with a gang of you. If you go to like Epicurean, I don't know how much it is, which is a bit of a moot point, but say it's 25 quid each. Everybody has to pay 25 quid. But if there's 6 of you and 3 of you are not as hungry as the rest, it's a bit of a waste of money. Whereas if you go to Keel and Cow, like you said, you can have a dish that's £5 or £6 right up to £20. Or you could just have a starter. And they do some fantastic starters as well. They did that cheese thing, didn't they? That sharing cheese, camembert dippy cheese thing, which was fantastic. And I had one of the best pies I've ever had in the history of pies.
Yeah, and you've had a lot of pies.
I've had a lot of pies.
Exploring Eric saying about Azamara, the chef's table. We didn't get on the chef's table, but yeah, Azamara food is fantastic, absolutely fantastic. So let's have a look. Davka.
So just let me throw this out to Eric. So would you say that not being into wine would spoil my chef's table experience? If you could just put a little comment on, I'd be very grateful.
A good question.
So I'm asking you questions rather than
Yes, we've taken out secondary insurance to cover itinerary changes, and you get £500. Yeah. It's not cheap, but we've taken it out. We've taken it out for a year to see if it's going to be worth a while. It hasn't been so far, but it'll be interesting to see. So that's really good. So let's have a look. It's all about the chat. Judy's saying they're off to P&O. You have to book your slot in the theatre, but you don't book
seats now.
So
because we had some booking issues with the app, if you just go to the theatre before the show starts, they will know if it's fully booked. And if it's not fully booked, they'll let you straight in. And if it is fully booked, they'll wait until a few minutes before. Yeah. And if everybody hasn't turned up, then you can.
And mostly there was always seats, wasn't there?
Seats,
So, So, Grace is saying your motorhome's older than me.
Yeah, cheers, Grace.
And Scott says you'll put your pair of tights over the exhaust. Let's see what else we've got. So it's all about kids, So Royal Caribbean seems to be and Ken said about Rich Ciders even close to us, and they usually get a large box. We need to come and visit you, Ken, don't we? We need to come down in the camper and have a cider weekend.
Yeah. The thing is, I don't like still cider, so I'm assuming if it's in a box, it's still. And I'm not a fan of. I won't say what it's called on here because YouTube might throw me off, but it's called something house varnish. First word beginning with S.
Dav Catcher was just saying about just some tables on the last MSC cruise, and the winners from the casino more or less paid our cabin bill. Yeah, it's just, it is worth. I think as long as you go there with a limit of what you're going to spend, because otherwise it's easy to get sucked in, isn't it? So
So remember, kids, gamble responsibly.
On the bit saying about Fremont Street, yes, we've been told about that. That's the old part, isn't it, of Las Vegas? So we'll just slightly overlap by one day, but we don't get in till late, do we? No. So Yeah, because I was saying about the Bloody Mary, it was so good. So
the bacon I don't like Bloody Marys, but because obviously I'm in charge of going to get the drinks, because apparently Carole has to keep the table for us. When he was making the Bloody Mary with all the bacon and stuff on, I thought, oh, do you know, I know I don't like them, but I might have to chance one, because at least that's the midnight snack sorted.
Dav Cat's also saying about the Crane Grill on Sky Princess. Yes, we had a fantastic meal.
At the Crane Grill, my son and
yes, but that was on Enchanted.
Yeah.
No, Regal.
It was on one of them.
But the Crane Grill on Princess ships is very good. Now, Coast to Coast, we got, it's just an hour. So have you ever done one of those behind the scenes tours? Yes, we have. And they are very, very good and very informative. But when we were on Holland America, they hadn't brought them back just as yet. But some ships have. But I think we're going to let me just scroll down here and just make sure I haven't, lots of comment about your shirts, Paulie.
Yeah.
So that's nice. Dick's here. So thanks for popping in for a few minutes. We'll leave for university. Hope you're having lovely weather. No, it's not very good. It's a bit wet and windy, but nice to see you here. So have fun in university. Yes. So, but anyway, let's have a quick scroll down. You're more than welcome to come for a cider tour. Yes, we should sort that out, shouldn't we? So the hour's up. So thank you so much for joining us. It's been we love this hour, don't we? Just chat with you all. So thanks for joining us. Next week, like I say, we've got a special guest with Dan, our travel agent. So he'll be here to answer any of your questions.
So you might be on the phone while I'm loading it up, because we're not sure how to get split screen or anything like that. But...
and that's it, isn't it, for now?
Yeah, that's sure.
We've got quite a quiet weekend coming up, which we're actually looking forward to. We're catching up with just for some friends. But whatever you're up to over the Easter weekend, have a fantastic time. And we will speak to you the same time next week. Or have you got something to say?
Nothing at all. Same time, same place.
Yes.
Have a fabulous weekend, everybody, and stay safe.
Yes. Speak to you soon. Bye-bye.